So to know what to scrape, you should look at the tags of a page. You can do this by getting the source of a web page. So there are different ways to do that. Different browsers have different options, of course. The HTML should basically be found in some kind of viewing platform. So I'm looking for it here. I always forget, to be honest. This is using Chrome, but you could of course use other browsers. There should be an option basically to view the page as a source, and that allows you then to see what's in that page. So here it's under developer, I've just realized. So if you go to developer under view in Chrome, you can go to view source, and that then allows you to actually see the HTML. So this is what the actual page looks like underneath what you actually visually see. And you can see there's a bunch of links to these images. So a lot of this is junk, effectively, for our purposes. Just sort of title pages, other kinds of pages, information that's general frames, basically, used for the page. But we want to find the actual links to images. And so we can look by searching through these tags and then finding eventually some links. For instance, here we see a link to a specific image, so on and so forth. So if we go back to the code, you'll see that what I did is look for something called div. That's an HTML tag called div, and then something for CRM22 man-made objects. So those are the sort of specific small thumbnail kind of images that we want to then download. So let's search for those man-made tags and see what we have there. So edit find. So man, oops, not there, but rather here. We can find, so you can see this is CRM objects man-made. So there we can then get the specific record that's referenced there, as well as the actual image. So here would be the actual record, potentially, for that specific image. So how do we know what we're going to get is the question. So what actually is being read is, if you can see here in the code, if we go back to the get links module that we're looking at. So if you open get links again, you look at line 33, you can see there's a base URL. We're at the base URL. However, the actual URL we're going to read is going to be a little bit different. So we can stop it with a breakpoint to see what URL we're actually going to read. So we can run it as debug. So if we run this in Python as debug, we'll see that we're actually going to read a specific number. And you can see the range is from 150 to 199. So we should be able to get a number from that. And then the URL itself, which you can see over here, is actually has the number 150. So now we're going to read a specific page that is 150 in reference to the actual HTML page, or the 150 number is used to reference the page. So let's go to that page first, since that's the actual page we're going to read. So this page is nothing more than just a general web page. From within that, we'll have the specific web page that we actually basically scrape. So you can see that this is one web page, and it also has a similar source as to what we just saw. It'll be actually the same thing, just difference is another number, since they're all using frames basically. So that's what we're going to be referencing. So we go ahead and look at that. We look at the source to get the HTML, and again we go find that man-made tag, because that's the one that has effectively the kind of tag we need. So here you can see it again. So if we go back to the code, you'll see that we read that URL, and then what happens is we should then get all the links that have div type of CRM man-made. So we should basically be returning these specific links that have that kind of tag. So you can see type of equals CRM E22 man-made. So it's the same exact thing, and that should then return the data within that specific tag, the HTML tag. And that's what Beautiful Soup does. It effectively allows you to return specific tags that you request, and then extract the information as you need them. That information can be stored in sort of dictionaries or other containers that have that information. So if we run the debugger, you'll see what's going to come out of that. So we go through it, basically get through the links. You find all those links that have those specific information about those tags. That is, they have an HTML tag called div, and then they have attributes called type of with that specific value of that attribute, which is exactly what this specific tag does in fact have. You can see div is the higher level tag, and the specific sub tag and value is called type of, and it has a CRM output, which then has subsequent information. That is the link that we need, which is what we're going to be scraping. Okay, so if we go ahead and get that, you can see what link will come out. So we get the specific about value, as you saw there on the HTML tag. So you can see from there, the link value will be the actual record and link to that record. So that's basically what that scraper does, is get you that specific link using the tags that are referenced in the HTML web page. You have to divide the tags based on the higher level tag, that is the highest level tag in which the subsequent information is encapsulated within. Usually that's a div or other kinds of level tags. If you go too high in the hierarchy of HTML tags, you'll get something unspecific. So my suggestion is you go find the specific link or data that you need. It could be text data, for instance. Find the smallest level tag and then go one up from that, and then find all tags from that one up or one higher level tag, and then get the attribute tag, that or attribute I should say for the HTML tag. So so what we're doing is basically getting all div specific tags, and then getting all div tags that have that attribute in reference, the type of attribute, which then have the value called CRM. So that's how we get the specific level data. You get the tag that you need, then you get the specific value of that tag, as well as the specific type of tag or type of data, in this case type of, and then the value itself. And you can then return all the tags that have those values as an output.